Hey everybody, so as you saw, we just had a live stream and I think they did a pretty good job on this one. So I just wanted to talk about a little bit on what kind of stood out to me. Now, of course, we did get news about Final Fantasy IX, but there's something else that stood out to me a little bit more, and that was the Award of the Visions awards that they gave out. And I'm gonna forgive them for the pun. I usually don't like puns, but I do like this one just because it's War of the Visions. Award of the Visions. I thought that was pretty good. So I'm gonna give that my Shigeru Miyamoto thumbs up. So yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun, and it's great that the players are kind of getting recognition. Like a lot of the players, a lot of the awards were kind of like players that really work hard in the game. So I'm 100% all for that kind of thing. Usually I don't really love titles all that much, but I feel like that's because you have to like they dangle the title in front of you and you have to like grind an event or something like that. But this is just kind of like giving recognition to a bunch of players who did like a bunch of like extraordinary things essentially. So all the rewards, I think they were pretty fun. I think at first I got this in the wrong order, but the first one I think was Born in Arena, and at first I was like, I'm probably not getting this one. But then as they showed some of the other ones, I was kind of like, oh, I might actually possibly get this one. Who knows? But obviously, I realized that there's people that grind way, way more than myself. So, like, Go Hunter Extraordinaire, that's something I could have gotten. Ardra's Life was the story missions. I feel like that's something I could have gotten. So, it kind of makes me a little bit happy to know that they might, like, let's say next year, they might decide to give some of these kind of awards by the next anniversary or something like that. And of course, congratulations to JB79 for getting both the class match one and the pillar of support one. I thought that was pretty cool. But just in general, I feel like this was just goodwill, and I feel like it kind of motivates me to play the game more and kind of try to get some of these things. Specifically for the perfect attendance, I know that I definitely didn't get it, but a couple of my friends did get it, and you know they're always talking about their perfect attendance, and they're always talking about whenever it's the 50, a multiple of 50. Hey, we're getting our 2,000 viz, so definitely great to see that they were able to get that. I missed my perfect attendance by like 30 something days because at the beginning of this game I had COVID, like second week of the pandemic, so I wasn't really feeling up to playing a brand new game. But I digress. Either way, that section was pretty fun to watch. Okay, so obviously, I think probably the best part of these live streams is getting this roadmap. I don't really expect to keep getting these roadmaps, mostly because I feel like they're doing this just because of the road to the worldwide merger, because it still feels like we don't have everything from that, and kind of the ones at the top of my mind are Bronwell and the new Astrius unit. So I think in terms of that, I think that's why they're giving it to us. Um, but in the future, I feel like it hurts their strategy to kind of tell us this much. But then again, this might just be a new worldwide version thing. They did kind of mention though that it's kind of like a special thing. So I'm pretty sure we're not going to see this too many more times. So I think it's good to enjoy this while it lasts. But my favorite part about this screen is the quality of life updates with the equipment proficiency. So they didn't. I don't think they specifically mentioned the affinity, the Esper resonance, and the trust stone stuff. But hopefully that should be coming up soon. If not within that, but soon enough, like next month or something. So hopefully we get that soon as well. And it's also, I think, usually it's nice to know the winter unit a little bit ahead of time. Um, Seems like it's halfway through December, so maybe that might be the first unit, and then the rerun might be the next week or something like that. But I'm always happy with the winter unit. The winter unit, well, most of the time, the winter unit is pretty good. So I will definitely take that, and I am super happy to see the stuff that's coming this month. I mean, I forgot to mention the FF9 stuff, of course. We kind of knew that was coming, so wasn't super shocking. Okay, so this again, wasn't super shocking, but I'm super glad to see this. I slightly prefer getting the summon over just getting the gift. And it really, I don't really need the 10 times summon. I really just want to be able to do the walking animation. So I'm kind of glad they've been keeping that up. So yeah, I'm kind of just glad to see that they're going with this instead of the present. Okay, so this is completely unrelated. It's only a little bit related, but kind of the funny part about the stream was Justin specifically pointing out that the correct pronunciation is Zidane, and I just thought it was funny how people in the comments or in the chat were kind of saying like, "Oh, it's Zidane, Zidane," but actually, I remember back in the World Cup, so I kind of thought this was like the 2014 World Cup, but apparently it was even way before that. I think it was like 2002 or 2006. There was a player named Zinedine Zidane who had like a super memeable moment where he headbutt one of the other players. And this meme was just like all over the internet at the time. So in my mind, whenever I see the name Zidane, I just think of this guy as Zinedine Zidane. You can look him up on YouTube. It's just Zidane headbutt. You should be able to find it. But ever since that, I kind of just started saying Zidane as the proper pronunciation. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of just funny in general. All right, so moving onward, I think this was pretty cool that they were able to show us the silhouette for Jeume, kind of like they did with Shadow Links. Again, I feel like what I'm seeing here is a dancer, but that might just be a little bit of bias kind of coming from what I wanted Shadow Links to be. But she is kind of floating here, so it kind of gives a little bit more of like a mage type of unit. And the sort of like scarf attachment or accessory here, I guess you could say, it reminds me of Rose from Street Fighter, but I think everything is really a JoJo reference, and it's really like a Lisa reference from JoJo. So I think that's potentially something that it could be, is either a fortune teller type of person, a tarot reader, or like a badass fighter. I forget exactly what Lisa was, but she was like the protector of the world or something. So it would be cool to have something like that. Okay, so moving onwards, this is the last thing from the event, is that we're getting an extra. So at first I thought we were getting 4,000 and then 4,444, but what they ended up saying was that they're adding 1,000 to the 3,000 that was on the gift, on the Hiroki's gift. So that's pretty cool. It's nice to get like a large amount like 4,000 all at once. I think Hiroki said that last month we didn't have a stream or a video or anything, so they kind of combined some of the gifts together. And honestly, I think they combined 2,000 vids from both streams. So in reality, we're not really getting that much extra, but like I said, it's nice to get two things at once. Or it's nice to get 4,000 vids at once, is what I really meant to say. Okay, and the last thing I kind of wanted to mention is in-game. So in my last video, I mentioned the bingo board for Final Fantasy, and I know everybody knows this already, but the Farplane Archives has the Final Fantasy missions. So I actually don't recommend unlocking the Cloud one. So at first I unlocked the Sephiroth one, and I think you get some Mind Spheres from that. I was like, oh, what do you get from Cloud? And it turns out you don't get anything from Cloud. So that was kind of a waste to unlock. But there's some other ones here that you do get some extra shards. I think I did the Final Fantasy 13, and I got some tickets and some shards for, I think it was Hope Shards. So I'm guessing that we do get shards for some of the free units. Again, I'm sure this is on Reddit somewhere too with exactly what you get, but just kind of keep that in mind. So just to show you guys, go into the Mog shop, and I'm not really getting everything, like nothing was refreshed. So this isn't stuff that I just bought. It was just already used up. So but like this stuff at the bottom, the stuff that does refresh, I guess it's, yeah, the stuff that refreshes daily, it is there if you want that. And so like going back to just the whole idea of the Farplane Archives, Kind of didn't really make sense why they did it like that, because they usually don't. They usually just throw it into events, but eventually I kind of just realized that it's because they don't want you to exploit all the mock shops at once with the guild snappers. And if you do, you would just have to spend your keys to get there. So, hey, if that's something you want to do and just get more keys and stuff, that would be something that you can do. Spend your keys here to unlock everything at the same time and just grind that out. But that, I don't think that really gives you much more than any of these other events here. Alright, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Let me end it there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.